If you found this message, that means that the veil has begun to thin. Not for everyone, not for the slumbering masses, but for you. A flicker of recognition, a sense of unease, a nagging suspicion that reality is not what it seems. You've felt it, haven't you? That subtle dissonance, the phantom echo of something more. The world presents itself as solid, tangible, a concrete fortress of cause and effect. Yet, in the quiet moments, in the spaces between thoughts, a question lingers. Are these walls truly impenetrable, or are they mere projections, shadows cast by a deeper, more profound light? Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the very fabric of your existence, the relationships you cherish, the ambitions that drive you, the fears that paralyze you, all are shaped, not by the concrete world you perceive, but by the unseen architecture of your own mind. Imagine that the chair you sit on, the screen you gaze at, are not absolute, immutable objects, but rather imperfect reflections of a pure, ideal form, a blueprint etched into the very essence of thought. A paradox unfolds. How can the ephemeral, the fleeting, the subjective world of our thoughts hold dominion over the seemingly solid, objective world of matter? How can the whispers of imagination sculpt the very mountains we climb, the cities we inhabit? We are told that seeing is believing, that tangible evidence is the bedrock of truth. But what if seeing is merely interpreting, and evidence itself is a selective filter, a lens through which we choose to perceive the world? Consider the artist, driven by an inner vision, a form that exists only in the realm of their mind. They sculpt, they paint, they write, striving to bring that ideal form into the physical world. Yet, the final creation, the tangible artwork, is always a shadow, a pale imitation of the original perfect form. It is flawed, imperfect, a testament to the inherent limitations of translating thought into matter. But the impulse, the driving force, the very essence of creation, originates from the unseen, the intangible. Are we then merely artists, sculpting our realities from the raw material of our thoughts? Are we prisoners of our own perceptions, trapped within the walls of our self-constructed prisons, mistaking the shadows for substance? And if so, who or what is the architect of these prisons? What unseen force guides our perceptions, shaping our realities, dictating the contours of our existence? The tension builds. The world around you, once solid and predictable, begins to shimmer, to waver, to reveal its inherent instability. The comfortable illusions begin to crack, revealing the unsettling truth that we are not passive observers of reality, but active participants in its creation. And the question burns within you: if our thoughts shape reality, then how do we break free from the patterns that bind us, from the self-imposed limitations that confine us? How do we reclaim our agency, our power, and become the architects of our own destiny? The journey to answer this question begins, not with external solutions, but with an inward descent, a confrontation with the very foundations of our consciousness. The hidden problem, the unseen force, the silent puppeteer, awaits. The hidden problem, the unseen force, the silent puppeteer, is the very structure of our thought, the ingrained patterns of perception that we mistake for objective reality. It is a force that Plato, centuries ago, attempted to illuminate with his theory of forms. He spoke of a realm beyond the tangible, a realm of perfect eternal archetypes, the true essence of everything we perceive. Consider a circle. We draw circles, we see circles, but none are perfect. They are mere approximations of the ideal circle, the form of the circle, which exists beyond the limitations of the physical world. This form, Plato argued, is the true reality, while the physical manifestations are mere shadows, imperfect copies. We are born into a world of shadows, conditioned to accept these imperfect copies as the ultimate truth. Society, with its relentless focus on the tangible and the measurable, reinforces this illusion. We are taught to value material possessions, external validation, and sensory experiences, mistaking these fleeting shadows for lasting fulfillment. This conditioning creates a psychological prison, a labyrinth of ingrained beliefs and assumptions that dictate our perceptions and shape our realities. We become trapped in a feedback loop, where our thoughts, shaped by these societal shadows, create the very experiences that reinforce them. Think of the fear of failure. It is not an inherent truth, but a learned response, a shadow cast by societal expectations and personal insecurities. This fear, this shadow, dictates our actions, limiting our potential, preventing us from pursuing our dreams. We avoid risks, we play it safe, we conform to the expectations of others, all because we mistake this shadow for a tangible, insurmountable obstacle. We are not reacting to reality itself, but to the shadow of a possibility, a potential future that exists only in our minds. The psychological roots of this problem lie in our innate desire for certainty, our need for control. We cling to the familiar, the predictable, the tangible, because it provides a sense of security in an inherently uncertain world. We build mental fortresses, rigid structures of belief, to shield ourselves from the chaos and ambiguity of existence. But these fortresses become prisons, limiting our ability to adapt, to grow, to experience the full spectrum of reality. Plato's philosophy, though ancient, reveals a timeless truth. Our perceptions are not passive reflections of reality, but active constructions shaped by the forms we hold in our minds. We are not simply observing the world. We are interpreting it, filtering it through the lens of our beliefs and assumptions. And these beliefs, these forms, are often inherited, unquestioned, and deeply ingrained, passed down through generations, reinforced by societal norms, and perpetuated by our own unconscious biases. The problem, then, is not the world itself, but the way we perceive it. We are trapped, not by external forces, but by the internal architecture of our own minds. We are prisoners of our own perceptions, bound by the shadows of our own beliefs. And until we recognize the illusory nature of these shadows, until we confront the hidden puppeteer within, we will remain trapped in a cycle of self-imposed limitations, forever chasing the fleeting shadows of a reality that exists only in our minds. The tension mounts, revealing that this is not merely a philosophical exercise, but an urgent call to action, a plea to break free from the invisible chains that bind us, to reclaim our agency, and to forge our own destinies. The unseen consequences of mistaking shadows for reality ripple outwards, silently shaping not only our personal lives, but the very fabric of society. This insidious influence operates on multiple levels, subtly warping our interactions, limiting our potential, and perpetuating cycles of suffering. Consider the pervasive power of societal narratives. These narratives, often unchallenged and deeply ingrained, function as collective forms, shaping our understanding of success, happiness, and worth. We are bombarded with images and messages that equate happiness with material wealth, success with external validation, and worth with physical appearance. These societal forms, these collective shadows, become the filters through which we perceive ourselves and others, leading to comparison, envy, and a relentless pursuit of fleeting and ultimately unsatisfying goals. Cognitive biases further compound this problem. Confirmation bias, for instance, leads us to selectively perceive information that reinforces our existing beliefs, while discounting evidence that challenges them. This creates a self-perpetuating cycle, where our limited perception of reality solidifies, becoming increasingly resistant to change. We become trapped in echo chambers of our own making, unable to see beyond the shadows of our preconceived notions. Neurological insights reveal the power of habit and conditioning. Our brains are wired to seek efficiency, to automate repetitive tasks and thought patterns. This leads to the formation of neural pathways that reinforce our habitual ways of thinking and behaving. The more we repeat a thought or action, the stronger these pathways become, making it increasingly difficult to break free from ingrained patterns. We become prisoners of our own neurological programming, trapped in a cycle of automatic responses to external stimuli. Cultural conditioning plays a significant role in perpetuating these unseen consequences. Different cultures hold different forms, different ideals of beauty, success, and morality. These cultural forms shape our values, our beliefs, and our behaviors, often unconsciously. We internalize these cultural narratives, accepting them as objective truths without questioning their validity or their impact on our lives. This can lead to cultural biases, prejudice, and a lack of empathy for those who hold different forms. The consequences of this unseen trap are far-reaching and profound. It leads to anxiety, depression, and a pervasive sense of dissatisfaction. We chase fleeting pleasures, seeking external validation to fill an internal void, only to find ourselves trapped in a cycle of endless striving. It stifles creativity and innovation as we become afraid to challenge the status quo, to think outside the box, to pursue unconventional paths. It perpetuates inequality and injustice as societal forms reinforce existing power structures and limit opportunities for those who don't conform to the dominant narrative. The urgency of escaping this unseen trap cannot be overstated. It is a matter of personal liberation and societal transformation. We must awaken from our slumber, question our assumptions, and challenge the ingrained patterns of perception that limit our potential. We must learn to distinguish between the shadows and the true forms, to recognize the illusory nature of our self-imposed limitations, and to reclaim our agency as creators of our own reality. The path to freedom lies in a radical shift in perspective, a willingness to confront the hidden puppeteer within, and to embark on a journey of self-discovery and transformation. The breakthrough realization is within reach, but it requires courage, self-awareness, and a willingness to challenge everything we thought we knew. The rebellion begins with a radical shift in perspective, the realization that the world we perceive is not a fixed, objective reality, but a fluid, malleable creation, shaped by our own thoughts and beliefs. This challenges the very foundation of our conventional understanding, the deeply ingrained notion that we are passive observers of a predetermined universe. We are not spectators. We are active participants, co-creators of our own experience. The counterintuitive solution lies not in changing the external world, but in transforming our internal landscape. We must learn to recognize and dismantle the ingrained patterns of perception, the societal forms that limit our potential. This requires a conscious effort to question our assumptions, to challenge our beliefs, and to cultivate a mindset of open-mindedness and curiosity. Mindfulness and meditation serve as powerful tools in this rebellion. By cultivating awareness of our thoughts and emotions, we can begin to identify the habitual patterns that shape our perceptions. We can learn to observe our thoughts without judgment, to recognize them as fleeting mental events rather than fixed realities. This allows us to create space between stimulus and response, to break free from the automatic reactions that perpetuate our self-imposed limitations. Critical thinking plays a crucial role in dismantling the societal forms that confine us. We must learn to question the narratives we are told, to analyze the information we consume, and to cultivate a healthy skepticism towards authority. We must develop the ability to discern between objective facts and subjective opinions, between truth and propaganda. Historical examples abound of individuals who broke free from the constraints of their time, who challenged the prevailing forms and reshaped the course of history. Consider Socrates, who dared to question the established norms of Athenian society, or Galileo, who defied the religious dogma of his day to champion a heliocentric view of the universe. These individuals and countless others demonstrated the power of independent thought and the courage to challenge the status quo. Practical steps for reclaiming control can be implemented today. Conscious questioning. Regularly challenge your assumptions. When a thought or belief arises, ask yourself, is this objectively true, or is it a learned pattern? What evidence supports this belief? What alternative perspectives exist? Media detox. Limit your exposure to media that reinforces negative societal forms. Consciously choose content that inspires, educates, and broadens your perspective. Perspective shifting. Actively seek out diverse perspectives. Engage with people from different backgrounds, cultures, and belief systems. This will help you to recognize the limitations of your own worldview and to cultivate empathy and understanding. Creative expression. Engage in creative activities that allow you to express your unique perspective. Writing, painting, music, and dance can serve as powerful tools for self-discovery and transformation. Nature immersion. Spend time in nature, away from the distractions of modern life. This can help to quiet the mind and to reconnect with the natural rhythms of the universe. Journaling. Regularly write down your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. This can help you to identify recurring patterns and to gain insights into your own psychology. By implementing these practices, we can begin to dismantle the self-imposed limitations that confine us and to reclaim our agency as creators of our own reality. We can learn to see the world not as a fixed, predetermined reality, but as a canvas upon which we can paint our own masterpiece. The rebellion is not a violent overthrow of external forces, but a quiet revolution of the mind, a reclamation of our innate power to shape our own destinies. The path to freedom lies not in conforming to the shadows, but in embracing the light of our own consciousness. The ultimate truth, the final and most powerful realization, is that the realm of forms is not a distant, abstract concept, but an intrinsic aspect of our consciousness. It is the very foundation of our being, the source of our creative potential, and the key to unlocking our true power. We are not merely passive recipients of reality. We are active participants in its creation, shaping our experiences through the architecture of our thoughts. This realization transcends intellectual understanding. It is a visceral, experiential shift in perception. It is the moment when the shadows dissolve and the true forms, the pure archetypes of existence, reveal themselves. It is the awakening to the inherent interconnectedness of all things, the recognition that we are not separate from the universe, but an integral part of its unfolding. The past struggles, the feelings of limitation, the sense of being trapped in a predetermined reality suddenly become clear. They were not external forces, but self-imposed constraints, illusions created by our own limited perceptions. The realization that we have the power to reshape our reality, to transcend these limitations, is both liberating and empowering. We are not bound by the physical world, but rather, we are the architects of it. The tangible objects we perceive, the relationships we cultivate, the experiences we have, are all reflections of the forms we hold in our minds. By consciously shaping these forms, by cultivating positive beliefs, by embracing creative expression, we can transform our lives and the world around us. This is not a call to escapism, to retreat into a world of fantasy. It is a call to action, to engage with the world with conscious awareness, to recognize the power of our thoughts and to use that power to create a reality that reflects our highest aspirations. It is a call to embrace our innate creativity, to challenge the status quo, and to forge our own unique paths. The final revelation is a paradigm shift, a profound understanding that the universe is not a fixed, static entity, but a dynamic, ever-evolving expression of consciousness. We are not separate from this consciousness. We are its very essence, its creative force. By aligning our thoughts with the pure forms of love, compassion, and creativity, we can contribute to the unfolding of a more harmonious and fulfilling reality. Imagine a world where individuals recognize the power of their thoughts, where they consciously choose to cultivate positive beliefs and to create realities that reflect their highest aspirations. Imagine a world where creativity and innovation flourish, where societal forms are shaped by compassion and empathy, and where the inherent interconnectedness of all beings is recognized and celebrated. This world is not a distant dream. It is a potential reality, a possibility waiting to be manifested. It begins with each individual, with each conscious choice, with each act of creative expression. The journey to this reality is not a linear path, but a continuous process of self-discovery and transformation. It is a journey that requires courage, perseverance, and a willingness to challenge everything we thought we knew. The message ends not with a conclusion, but with an invitation, a call to action. It is an invitation to embark on a journey of self-discovery, to explore the depths of your consciousness, and to reclaim your power as a creator of reality. It is an invitation to embrace the inherent beauty and potential of existence, and to contribute to the unfolding of a more harmonious and fulfilling world. The shadows have dissolved, the forms have revealed themselves, and the path to freedom lies before you. What will you create?